Hi everyone, my name is Whitney Kelly and I'm a rising second year medical student here at CU. I first of all just want to give you a warm welcome to the CU family. We're all very excited to have you all joining us and we're looking forward to helping you with your transition into medical school. Today you're going to be learning about Northstar, which is the online platform that you'll be using for your classes. You're going to walk through a step-by-step guide on how to actually use Northstar, but I wanted to give you a few tips on what I think would be helpful when actually navigating this webpage. So I went ahead and loaded the front page of Northstar, so we'll go ahead and jump in and get started. Alright, so the first page that you'll see when you log into Northstar is the dashboard. And my first tip to you is to get into the habit of checking the dashboard multiple times a day. This page has two important features that I think you'll be using quite often on a daily basis. The first one is the message center here, which is how course directors and coordinators will be communicating with you all. They'll be sending you notices about really anything related to school, such as clarifying requirements for an upcoming event or even changes to events. So it's really important that you don't miss these notices. Below the message center is your calendar. And I would highly recommend you work on becoming familiar with what's in the calendar just because you'll be using it very, very often. So we'll go ahead and look at my calendar right now, which you should be seeing something pretty similar to this. So each of these blocks are referred to as a learning event, which you can kind of think of like as a class. It's just a block of time devoted to a topic. If we do a single click on one of these events, we'll get some quick glance information. So in here you can see the date and time of an event, where it's at, how long it's going to be, and also if there's any associated attachments for it. So things you might want to know just at a quick glance. If we want a little bit more detail though, we're going to go ahead and click on this review learning event. Alright, so this page has that quick glance information that we saw before, but it also has more information down below, so we'll go ahead and scroll. Here it lists out event objectives, event resources. So for this one, it looks like it's showing documents needed for both for before class and for during class. You might also see quizzes here as well, though. And then at the very bottom, we have a place for discussion. I do want to take a quick second to point out the objectives. Let's see, up here, just because this is something that I wasn't familiar with before starting school, but it's actually pretty important. So here at CU, we use learning objectives. They're called LOs, which will be listed here, and they're essentially an outline of what you're responsible for knowing. So course directors will be giving you a list of learning objectives for each exam, and it nicely lays out what you're expected to know for that particular exam and what you could be testing on. I highly recommend paying attention to LOs just because course directors do use those for creating exam questions, so the information is really important. My next tip for you is to utilize bookmarks. So I'll go ahead and go back to the dashboard. Now, I use bookmarks for important pages here, like on my Chrome web browser. I even bookmarked Northstar just because it's something that I think will be used very often and I like to have easy access to it. But I also wanted to point out that you can use bookmarks within Northstar as well. I feel like this could be really useful for your frequently used pages that might require a few clicks to get to. That way it's a little bit faster for you to get to them. The tutorial that you're going to go through will walk you through how to create bookmarks, but I did just want to show you that with this little setting button you can delete and rearrange them. That way you can really customize it for what works best for you. Alright, so the next tip I have for you is probably what I would consider the most important. If I was only going to give you one tip, it would be this one, and that is to make sure that you connect Northstar to Outlook. And I know that seems kind of vague, so let's go ahead and talk about the details of this. So there are two parts for connecting Northstar to Outlook. First, you can connect the messaging center to Outlook, so whenever you receive a notice within Northstar, you get an email about it in Outlook. I really like this feature because you get that little ping notification in Outlook whenever you get an email. So it's a way to alert you that you received an email of some kind, which might be a notice from Northstar. And that way you at least know about it and you can address it as needed. This feature should be turned on for you already, but if it's not, I would recommend submitting a ticket for it, which I'll show you how to do that. The second part of connecting North Star, how to do that. The second part of connecting North Star to Outlook is to upload your course calendars into the Outlook calendar. So this was something I was told to do at the beginning of the year last year, and I was actually really hesitant to do it because I never really used an electronic organizer before. But about 2 days in, I realized how hard it was to organize my schedule without it, so I started to start using it, and I haven't looked back. Even though it's nicely laid out in North Star here, showing you exactly what you have going on, I still recommend using the Outlook calendar just because you can add in other commitments like volunteering, research, or whatever it may be, and that way all your schedules are in one area. So let me go ahead and show you how to do that. All right, so to upload those calendars, we're going to still be under that dashboard page. We scroll all the way down to the bottom below the calendar. You'll see this little subscribe to calendar button. We'll click on that. And in button, we'll click on that. And in here, this box should pop up. I would recommend staying under the All Calendars tab. That way when we upload the calendars, it's all of your school calendars and not just a single one. You can do the individual courses, but you would have to do each of these individually, and that would take a lot of time and energy. So I would just recommend staying under the All Calendars tab. So what we're going to do is click on this copy subscription URL. And in here, it should highlight the link that we want. We're going to go ahead and copy that. We're going to go over to our Outlook page here. So I'm under the Outlook calendar. And everyone's might look a little bit different than mine, but what you're looking for is this Add Calendar button. We'll click on that. Then we're going to go to Subscribe from Web. Then we'll paste that URL into here. And you can go ahead and name. Then we'll paste that URL into here. And you can go ahead and name this whatever you want. You do need to have a name for it. So since this time of year is kind of exciting, we'll give it a little bit of flair. You can color code if you want, add a little icon, and then at the bottom you're going to hit import. So the importing might take a second. There is a lot of information that needs to go in there. All right, so we'll go ahead and close out of here. It's updated that. So now when we look at our page here, all of this information was uploaded into Outlook. So everything that you need for school is now in your Outlook calendar. And I really like this because it's all in one location and I can add in other things. So if I clicked here, I could add in if I have a shadowing or volunteering event going on. Shadowing or volunteering event going on. Another tip that I have for you is you can even add in due dates for assignments, which is kind of nice because it can be hard to remember all the little assignments you have here and there when you have so many other things going on. Okay, so finally, I want to just show you how to reach out for help if you need it. So we're going to go back to our North Star page. Go ahead and close out of here. Still under the dashboard. Under this Helpful Links button is the School of Medicine Help Desk. If you click on that, all right, so this is how you submit a ticket for school. You can fill out this information under Systems or Application. We were working under North Star, but really any platform that you use for school you can ask for help for, and you can go ahead and indicate which one you need help with. Give a little description and an attachment, maybe a screenshot with. Give a little description and an attachment, maybe a screenshot of some kind, and go ahead and hit submit. This will work its way over to the IT department and let them know that you need help, and then they should be reaching out to you to help you out with what you have going on. All right, so those are all the tips and tricks I have for you today. As you start working with North Star, if you find other little tips along the way, I really encourage you to be sharing those with your classmates as well. I hope you found this helpful, and I just want to say congratulations again and welcome to CU. I wish you the best of luck with your first year adventures and take care. Best of luck with your first year adventures and take care.